Hey everybody, it's 5 o'clock. It's time for Watch Me Work. We are here. It is March already, and we are here, and we're going to do what we do every week. We're going to work together for 20 minutes, and then we are going to, I'm going to take your questions about your work and your creative process. And while we got plenty of time to talk shop, we don't have the time or the bandwidth to actually have you present your work, but we have plenty of time to talk about process. So, yeah, we give thanks to the Public Theater, New Work Development Department, and HowlRound, who have been supporting us for all these years. We've been doing this for about 15, 16 years. Oh my God, can you believe it? New Work Development, Zoe Harris, or Harris, will you tell us how to get in touch should we have a question?
Yes, thank you, SLP, and welcome to another wonderful session of Watch Me Work. Happy March. Before we dive into directions of how to ask your question after a 20-minute work session, I wanted to share sad news, which is it's Harris's last day at Watch Me Work today. Crying, we're crying, we're sad, tears. And would you like to say something to the group?
Thank you, Zoe. I just wanted to say thank you. It's been so beautiful sort of spending time with you, and the way that you all check in with each other and have like sort of invited and kept the New Work team involved just feels so lovely. And I will miss you all, but also I might pop back in. I might need my own 20-minute work session and question moment. So
Yes, Harris is a genius dramaturg, currently working on the Public Sumo and has a couple more projects coming up. So if anybody is looking to collaborate with the dramaturg, could not think of a better person to talk to about your process. Harris is just a genius. And on that note, Harris, would you like to give us some instructions of how to ask questions?
yes. Okay, so we're gonna work for 20 minutes, just like SLP said, and then at the end of that time, you can ask a question if you would like to by using the react button at the bottom of your screen. And when you click on that, there's a raise your hand function. Your hand will go up, it'll flag it to us, and then we will call you on your order in line and you can ask your question.
Fantastic. So much excitement, so many good things happening. Okay, so without further ado, let us begin. 20 minutes, here we go. All right. It's been 20 minutes. We now have plenty of time to talk with you about your work and your creative process. If any of y'all have hey, Amrita, you're here.
Hi, everyone. Hi, SLP.
And hi, Lauren. Feel free to start us off with your first question.
Hi, everyone. I want to ask a question about doing art in the age we are living in, because art to me is one of the most powerful forces, and we're living in a very difficult time, no question. I think everybody agrees with that. So, in a straight sort of way, it's actually made me more committed. I've written more than I've written before, ever. The ideas are coming, making it, the whole story come together. I'm like, what is, and I thought, it's telling me to do it. It's telling me we have to do this. We have no choice. So what is it? How is it for an artist in the writing in different times, writing like in this difficult time and maybe in a time that's not so difficult?
Yes. 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 It's everything you said, Lauren. It's everything you said.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been, again, I didn't start Watch Me Work last week or last month or in November, or you know what I mean? I started Watch Me Work over 15 years ago. And
That's
we've been
right.
through lots of different times,
That's right.
lots of different climates. You know what I mean? I've been
Yeah.
doing this for 15 years, and it's because it's my belief that it's important to do your work. What was I reading? Doing your work is a demonstration of love. I read that somewhere. Let me see where I read that.
Mhm.
Work is love made visible, the prophet, right? Work
Okay.
is love made visible. So I think it's important to do your work. That's
Mhm.
why I'm here with y'all.
Okay.
Always.
And I'm of Italian heritage,
Mhm.
born in Boston, but my heritage is Italian. And so, in a way, this is to like going like this to them. Okay, which is a way you're not gonna get it to me. You're not gonna get me or anyone. We are gonna do this. Too bad. Sorry.
I think we all have our takes on why we show up. But again, I've been here for 15 years through a lot of different climates. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do this to us, manifest, all of us. The hand of God is right there. Is the hand of God. Look, there it is.
That's right.
So it's when we each have our take on how we respond to whatever it is that's going on. I just say show up and do your work.
Yeah.
Work is love made visible.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lauren. Great point. Thanks for chiming in today.
Thank you, Lauren.
Who's next?
Does anyone else have any questions? Hi, David. Hi, David.
Hello, how are you?
All right.
Yay.
Good to hear. SLP, how are you? Thank you for having me
I'm
back.
well.
I really love being in this room. This is really a pleasure.
Thank you for being here, man. David, what's on your mind today?
I've been having a debate with myself. No,
Uh-oh.
you haven't. Yes, I have. Um, a debate about handling transgressive material and protecting myself from taking responsibility for it. I found myself resorting to making a sudden swerve into meta theater to distract my audience from some disturbing material. And while I was doing that, trying to hide myself from what I was trying to write about, it reminded me of how I felt recently reading the Slave play, which I've never seen on stage, but which I read maybe a week ago, and it just struck a nerve with me because it felt, well, should I go on about the Slave play?
Why don't you talk about your work? I think
Yeah.
this It's about your work and your creative process. So let's hear what you're going through right now.
Well, I like to get as close to the material that frightens me as I can without just being, a broadly first-person confessional on stage. So, get right down to it, make the characters be in the real moment that you want them to be in. But I often wonder about that, whether when I fail to take center stage, whether it's because I'm protecting my person, me, David, from the material, um, or whether I'm protecting the play from the material. It's really hard to know whether it's a failure to communicate with me to myself, or whether it's a failure to communicate to an audience what I really want to say. That's me. That's my problem. That's my dilemma, obviously, but it's worth talking about, I think,
It's hard to tell, not,
without specifics.
yeah, without the actual work. But I say if it feels like you're avoiding something, and you probably are.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
So don't. If you don't want to, if you feel like you're avoiding something, you probably are. And if you don't want to avoid it, then do whatever you have to do to encounter it more truthfully, more authentically, more head on,
Yeah.
If you feel like whatever you're doing is like avoiding it, I mean, because different writers have different strategies. Some writers go into do a lot of language play, and then you think, oh, you're so other more naturalistic writers might say, you're avoiding stuff. But no, to that writer, it's exactly saying what they want to say. So different writers approach the task differently. You have to look at your work, and if you feel like you're avoiding something and you don't want to avoid it, then take steps to embrace it more fully.
I'll have to be a very strong person to take that advice, but I will do my best.
Well, I mean, asking the question, David, is like 2/3 of the power that you need. So
in other words, I know I want to, right? Yeah.
then just go for it, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
Great question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, David. And hi, Diana. You can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Cool. Hi.
Hi.
This is my first time here, so
Welcome.
thank you. Fangirl gush, fangirl gush. Okay, now here's my question. Yeah, so I guess what I feel like I'm struggling with, since this is new to me, and my husband and I are collaborating on a full-length play, is balancing structure, because I'm very much, let's have a super detail-oriented outline that tells us every detour, every turn we're going to make. And he's very able to just write like a child and have it be amazing and in the moment. So how do you kind of find a way to balance an idea about where you want to go versus like being open to being surprised? I think that's my question.
It's a great question. What a great partnership, Diana. And how lucky that it's your spouse, it's your husband that you have this wonderful creative partnership with. And you each bring different strengths to the partnership. How wonderful that you're both not, Excel spreadsheet types. You know what I mean? How wonderful that he's the free-flowing one, and you're the maybe more outliney, the one who likes the outlines. How wonderful. Have you ever gone on a trip with him? I mean, like a road trip?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like when we moved from Northern California to Southern California, we drove.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you like plot out every place you were going to stop?
No.
No? Did you arrive safely?
Yes.
Okay, and that's exactly what this is like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or if you've ever gone on a trip, to a different country or whatever, and you might plan a few things I mean,
Yeah.
basically, you had a plan. You were going to start where you lived, and you were, I mean, you know, Northern California, you're going to go to Southern California. So that's your outline, if you will. And then perhaps along the way, you decided, let's stop here, let's stop there, let's stop here. That's sort of your points in your outline. And then, oh, look, there's a beautiful view. Let's stop here and take some pictures. That's the more free flowing. You got there safely and you had a nice time.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to have with your creative process too. So I think you're balancing it very well. It sounds wonderful.
Thank you very much. That's good advice.
Yeah, and just know that you both have an equal and wonderful aspect to contribute to the success of the project.
Sweet. Thank you.
Okay? Congratulations, and keep us posted on how it's going. We want to hear.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Lovely to hear, Diana. Thank you for sharing that. And hi, Mackenzie. Hello, hello.
Hey, Harris. Oh my gosh, thank you. Hi, SLP. I'm Mackenzie, and hello, everyone. It's also my first time here, so it feels really great to be a part of this community. So my question, I've been in a fellowship at the public for the last 6 months, and this is the last week of that fellowship. So I am having like a lot of energy coming my way. And this past weekend, I had a staged reading of one of my plays for the first time we invited an audience in. And it was just really overwhelming for me, in a lot of positive ways. I think I was surprised at how much of my community showed up, and they allowed me to have it at public studios. So I was also surprised at just like the staff members' support, and it's like I'm also an actor, so I feel like I've witnessed like that vulnerability before, but it was the first time people in my community like witness my writing, and I'm still feeling like really scared. Like thinking about it is just yeah, it was a really scary but fun experience. I would love any advice you have for someone that it's their first time sharing their work with their community.
Oh, well, congratulations. It's congratulate yourself a lot.
Thank
You
you.
know what I mean? Maybe even, you know, write down like how you're feeling. You want to sort of record all those good feelings that you're feeling, you know. Also, you might want to record any like notes that you might get, you know. But it can be like a touchstone for as you go forward with your wonderful, brilliant, successful career. This is like, you know, one of your wonderful starting places. So you just want to sort of celebrate yourself a lot and you know, gather the notes. All the folks who showed up for you um uh probably have some great thoughts and notes and stuff, so you want to gather those and make sure that you're collecting those from maybe the you know, different kinds of people who were there. So but congratulations, that's really, really great.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yay, congratulations.
Thank you, Mackenzie. What a wonderful question. I was at the reading, and Mackenzie should be very, very proud. You did amazing work. And hi, Lou. Hi.
Hi, good to see you all. Hi, SLP. So I have a two-parter. First part is I literally hit send on my third chunk of material right before session. So admittedly, my 20 minutes was a little bit just like, whoo, a little.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So my editor just got that, which is really exciting. So yes to celebrating wins, and what you just said to Mackenzie, I'm like, yeah, that's really important. But this is actually my question. My question today is about deadlines. I know, look, the 20 minutes and the timer and all that has been such a game changer for me, but I was really, really mystified on this round where I was like, why, because I know it's due today, does it all come to me? Like what, and can I manufacture that urgency or that frequency without the literal deadline? Because sometimes when the literal deadline isn't looming over me, it's hard to kind of like lock in. And when it is, like I get really excited and I'm really proud of what I create. And I don't know, I just want like more about the time and the like pressures of deadlines.
Well, it's how you're gaming your own system, really, I mean, uh, if you want to, hit that sort of you're like you're like an athlete. You're ready for them to run whatever your favorite event would be, the 100-meter sprint or the marathon, your game condition on the day, and that's fantastic. If you want to be in game condition before the day, then you have to organize yourself differently. If you like part of what I'm hearing, I mean, congratulations for meeting your deadline, or you're crossing your finish line in an appropriate way, in an appropriate time. But something in me here is that you'd like to maybe not be like, and I just turned it in,
Yeah. I want to keep going. Like, I really was psyched with where I landed, and I'd love to feel this momentum. But this is my third chunk, so I'm 6 months into this process. And the other 2 times, yeah, maybe this is important. The other 2 times I like let the air out and kind of like, for like a week after. And then it took a little while to kind of build up and build up. And I don't know, I'm trying to figure out if I can keep the energy. I don't
Well, I
know.
mean, different people work in different ways. If
Yeah.
that is working for you, then I'd say keep doing it and just take your week off or take your vacation after you finish. I personally don't like to work that way because I have I kind of, there's so much to do. I'm not what my dad used to call last minute-itis. That's what he would call it. You know what I mean? Like, you cross the finish line, yay, but it creates stressors for me personally.
Yeah.
If it works for you, then go for it. Me, I like to have it done 3 or 4 days before, but that's just my own, and then kind of roll in,
Mm-hmm.
like that. That's kind of, um, but everybody's different. So just I would say keep an eye on what you want, and keep an eye on how you'd like to work. And if you'd like to be done a week earlier, then move your goalposts, move your finish line, and just have like the slow, the landing, I mean, you're going to be a healthy, or you want to just kind of cruise in, I don't know. It depends. It's up to you. You're the architect of your game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. That's super helpful. You said something like there's a lot, I'm paraphrasing, but like, there's a lot to do. And I'm excited about my work right now. I want to see it as something I want to be, in more relationship with, and less of this like junior high school mentality of making a deadline. Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's the thing. If you, Lou, are seeing it as junior high school mentality,
Yeah.
then you can architect it differently. Just be like, and set yourself, I'm going to have, so you say, I'm going to have a draft that I'm pleased with by week 2. Then I'm going to noodle with it for another week. Then by week 4, I'm going to have the draft that I could send, and then I'll reread it 2 nights before, and then I'll send it in on time. You can really architect it differently.
Yeah. I'm going to try that for the next chunk. That sounds really good.
Yeah. And sort of see yourself maybe as you're more of a marathoner, if again, but this is for everybody, if you want to work differently, then you can work differently. If you like the way you work, keep working the way you're working. That's the basic thing. So you can change it up and see, Lou, how it feels.
Yeah, I will try it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Always love your questions.
Same. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou. That was a lovely question. Happy we got to spend time with that one.
SLP, we are all very moved by your advice here. That really resonated.
That hit deep.
Oh yeah, just sort of like, yeah. I mean, you'll see. Hold on, I'm gonna go this. I love my online calendar, but I have paper calendars, like just because I print them out and I print out whatever it is that I'm doing this month and sort of, it's like air traffic control, okay? They're like, they got more than one plane in the air. And when you got more, you just have to sort of organize it like that and not create tension because you haven't architected the game plan appropriately.
Yeah.
You know, but then there are some people who like that tension, you know, so then that's their game. That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, hi Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie.
Hi, so my question today is if you have any advice on, I'd love to hear if you have any advice on kind of like self-producing when you have no money. Um, and sort of, I mean, it's weird because I do a lot of theater stuff, but right now, I'm still in the world of also the pilot that I wrote. And I feel like with things like film and TV, obviously I've self-produced a lot for that, but I feel like sometimes it's harder. It can feel more daunting to try and self-produce for something for the screen with no money because of just at least the way that I've been taught about making stuff for the screen. So I don't know. That's
No, I hear you. I mean, self-producing has, you know, sure, expectations are higher these days, but look at this amazing thing. It's not only a crack pipe, look, it's a phone. I mean, you can make great stuff for TV and film or YouTube or to present, you know, before it gets picked up by your Netflix on this device, or if you have, I don't know, whatever brand you might have, you know. Also, if you have no money, like you can do readings on Zoom. I have a 10-piece band, you know, and I don't have a lot of money, but I pay my band members to show up at rehearsal, you know. But I don't pay them, you know, like what a Broadway theater would pay them. You know what I mean? I don't have that kind of money, but I pay them something toward, you know, right? I have this, I divide it into 9 and I go, well, I can pay you that, you know? And the people who say, nah, I don't come out of the house for that much money. I'm like, okay, no harm, no foul. I love you and I can't afford you, you know? So, but the people who say, well, you know, it sounds like a fun project, we're going to jump in, you know, they'll jump in with me on my band stuff. So I say, look at the money, make up a budget. If you've got $100, right? For example, you can also do a little GoFundMe thing and get like someone to maybe some friends to match that. And then you'll have $200 and then you'll be able to do some filming, you know, on your phone. You can do editing on your computer these days. You got to get creative. This is the thing. When you don't have financial resources, a lot of times we have to get really creative and also really vulnerable and say, hey, wonderful musician, I can't pay your top price, you know, but I can give you what I have. Are you interested? Hey, wonderful actor, I can't pay your equity rate that you'd be making if you were on Broadway or your SAG rate, but I can pay this much for you to do a workshop presentation of something that I'm putting together. So you have to get you have to do your human, you have to do not the financial currency, money. You have to use your human currency. You know, hey friends, maybe you can come over for a reading over to my house. I don't have any money, but I can cook you dinner. You know, that kind of thing. Or maybe we could have a potluck dinner and I could bring the wine or something. You got to get your human currency out there, much more so than people who just have money, who sometimes forget their human currency. We know those people, and those aren't the people we are going to emulate. Does that help, Ronnie, you just know, tell yourself that you have enough to do the work that you want to do. That's where it starts. Hypnotize yourself. I have enough resources to do the work that I want to do. And I'm going to figure this out because I'm a creative person. And I'm going to call friends, call in maybe some favors. You know what I mean? Call in some favors, make new friends. I got a producer. I have producers on some of my jobs, my shows. They're not getting any money. Because there's no money. But you know, we like hanging out and we're kind of relating and it's good like that. It happens. Okay?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, just encourage yourself. Know that you have everything you need to make it happen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yay. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, Ronnie. That's great news.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Simone. Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
I'm gonna type in the chat because I'm away and our internet is a little spotty. Yeah, just following up on that self-imposed kind of deadline question. Are there any suggestions for that? For example, I know for me, if there's a grant deadline or there's an artist residency deadline or anything like that, I will push myself, stay up and do all the things. But when it's just for a project, like for instance, if I'm writing an essay and there's nobody expecting the essay, or I'm writing a play and it's, when you're doing that work, yeah, just wondering how to, any sparks of wisdom or just ideas to kind of help push yourself when there's no external
Right.
pressure.
When there's no you're a creative person. We forget we're creative people. There's no external pressure. Guess what? Get into your make-believe mode and create some external pressure. The external pressure is the part of you that's waiting for it. What is this? What? You print out a calendar, like I just showed you. Print out a paper calendar and choose a date when you need the first draft done. And then back up and choose the date when you're going to have the first 3 pages done and go through the calendar like that. Adding 3 pages a day or 3 pages every 3 days or whatever. There is external pressure, and that external pressure is the part of you that wants it done. Like there's another, you can give them a name. You know what I mean? If you need to go there. Do you have you ever had, Simone, any imaginary friends?
And sometimes I have an imaginary editor named Judith.
Right. Okay. Judith, what? What? Judith wants this. Judith is
she's very mean.
She's very mean. Okay. No. This is not mean, Judith. This is like lovely Judith. Judith has just had a glass of Chardonnay and she loves you. And she's like, come on, Simone. You know I want to read this. Can you please turn it in by da-da-da-da-da? Right? It's the lovely part of you that loves you. Maybe she has a glass of Chardonnay in her hand. I don't know. I just added that. Okay? Okay, but you can have, and I said an imaginary friend, not an imaginary enemy, an imaginary friend, someone who adores you, who wants you to succeed. And that's the external pressure on you.
Thanks.
You're
I hadn't tried the loving, yes, I haven't tried the encourager, the one who wants to the one who will make the food for the rehearsal dinner.
So what's their name?
I don't know.
It's a funny name. I don't know. Okay, but you can.
Carmen.
Carmen, great,
we'll call her
fantastic,
Carmen.
love it, great. Carmen's waiting for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Simone. I'm very excited to see what Carmen brings out. This is great news. I'm happy we all got to meet her. Hi, Kimmy. Hello. Welcome back. How are you?
Hi. Congratulations, Harris. I wish you all the best on everything. And hi, everybody. Hi, SLP. Thanks for having me. I've been really sitting with the validation stuff that you've been recognizing in me. And I really got clobbered last night. I reached out to some friends who were writing for the Oscars, and I was sending all my love and congratulating them. And the one fella wrote me back and said, he called me his talented friend, and we're just on the periphery. We've only met like once or twice in person. And he said that he can't wait until I get nominated. And he was saying just all these wonderful things. And of course, I had a meltdown. And when I did my reading, I had people who we just lost a woman. Her name is Lynn Stewart. She was Pee Wee Herman's Miss Yvonne, and she read for me, and Kathleen Wilhoit, and some really great people. And they gave me very solid feedback and advice and a lot of validation. What do you think it is that is stopping me from reveling in that, or accepting it, or believing more in myself than other people believe in me? Because is that a thing that writers do? Do we all self-sabotage, or need a parade, or like, I don't know, to prove to ourselves that we're writers and that we're talented? I don't know. Or maybe it's just me waiting for the other shoe to drop. I don't know.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, Kimmy, the way you talk about things, you said you got clobbered last night, clobbered. So I don't know. I mean,
From the inside out, I got blindsided to get such positive feedback from somebody that I barely knew. And it just took me by such surprise. It wasn't a bad clobber, it was a good clobber, but I didn't see it coming. And so I just started to cry that somebody saw something in me when I barely know this person. And he's not a person, this much I know, because other people have spoken highly of him, and he's not the kind of person that just says things just 'cause. And I'm wondering what it is. Is it something that creatives do that we don't believe enough in ourselves? Is it just a me thing? Like, why am I struggling with validation? Why? I'm just trying to understand that about myself. And I didn't know if you had any insight or suggestions on how to get out of that stuck space.
No, I think that's a great, I think all people do, whether they're creative or not. I think doubt is a real thing, and you wonder, am I doing the right thing? The people who think, oh, everything I do is great. That's a kind of personality. But I think I really, the more you talk, I think to be mindful as much as we can of the things that come out of our mouths. I feel like we have control of two things: what comes out of your mouth and what goes in your mouth. Right? So if we can just listen to ourselves, like I said, Kimmy, you said, I got clobbered last night. In my understanding of English, getting clobbered is, right? And you then proceeded to tell us a story of how someone paid you a beautiful compliment. So as much as we all can, we need to be mindful of what we're saying to ourselves about ourselves. And just really work on being mindful of that loop. Right?
Thank you. Yeah.
And just when you say, oh, gee, I need to work on my self-confidence. Yes, you can say instead, I'm working on my self-confidence. I'm working on my own self-validation. I'm working on this. And every day I get a little better. Every day I give myself a pat on the back. Every day I tell myself that I'm doing really well. You know? So all those little things add up. So it's really important to realize that they all accumulate. Okay?
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's helpful.
You're welcome very much. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Kimmy. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Love you, mean it.
Thank you. Hi, David. Back to you.
Oh, hey, hello. Just a quick update on something we talked about a few weeks ago. I told you I couldn't write a plot for my play, and I was hoping for a post-plot era where that would be condoned. But then this weekend I saw 12 play readings over 3 days in a festival in Philadelphia, and I got to tell you, of the 12 of them, the 3 that had real plots are the ones that I was most engaged with, and the ones that kept me interested, and the ones that kept me paying attention. And I understood the value of plot, but it was really, really apparent when hearing 12 plays in a row how essential it is that we fill our plays with people doing things with which we have a problem. That's my observation about plot this week.
And just to remind us that there are many needs in the world. So some of us need to break free of that, and some of us are very engaged by that. So let's just all, there's, art is wide and huge and long and very beautiful. Thank you for coming to work with me this week. Are we back next week? We are here. We are.
Double check, but we think we are.
Yes, we are.
We
I
are.
can never remember what, yes. Okay. I know the schedule is very beautiful and very organized, and I don't always have it right in front of me. We love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Mwah. We'll see you next Monday. Okay, thank you.